We actually started this game as a different game. We had wanted to do a trading simulation where you sailed ships around the ocean and you opened up ports and you traded products. And we actually were pretty deep in the development of that game when we realized it wasn't actually the game we wanted to make. We wanted a game that had a stronger multiplayer element. We wanted a game that had a stronger feeling of combat and a game where you could really interact with other players. We also wanted a game where the characters were stronger. And so we took some of the base technology from that original game that we were working on, scrapped everything else, and started over from the beginning. And when we started over from the beginning, we took a lot of the lessons that we learned from that game, and we also took a lot of the failures from that game, and used that as a basic starting point for how we were going to build this game. We started with some of our favorite games. Key games that we were looking at were Civilization, Crusader Kings, Heroes of Might and Magic, Risk, and Diplomacy. And probably the two most important are actually Risk and Diplomacy. We loved the simplicity of Risk, and we knew that on an iPad that kind of gameplay where there were territories that you were going to take over was a simple, easy way for players to understand a strategy game and a simple way to control a strategy game on an iPad. But we liked the feeling of Diplomacy where everybody was planning their turn at the same time. And we wanted in that multiplayer feeling to allow people to chat with each other and talk about what they're going to do in a turn, interact with each other, plan out their moves, and then have them all resolved at the same time. And so we really drew inspiration from those two games. But when we looked at the armies and how the armies were going to be built, we wanted those armies to be kind of like the armies in Hero of Might and Magic, where there were different kinds of units, and those units had different strengths and different weaknesses and different abilities. And so we pulled from that as well. One of the things that our team has always been great at is character art. And when we started the game, we knew that we wanted there to be key characters, and for those key characters to have special abilities and special things that they could do. And we wanted those characters to be very original. So we spent a lot of time looking actually at our old games that we did at Boomzap. Games like Awakening and games like Dana Nightstone that had all these wonderful, great characters. And we used that same style of character art to build those characters.